All right, so we're going to get you caught up on what's going on here weather-wise across the area tonight. I'm kind of hanging out, monitoring the storms for you. And here we have in the metro area some showers and thunderstorms kind of rolling on through right now. And I think they're not severe. Let me go back over to my other spot here and we'll get you caught up. So it's coming up on 12:25. 12:25 is what we're looking at here. Let's go ahead and load this puppy up and we'll show you what we're dealing with at this hour. Again, you're looking at temperatures that are in the lower 70s. I don't think we're going to drop a whole lot more overnight tonight. We're going to hang around 70. You see that first wave of showers and thunderstorms rolled on through. There's been some more development over southeast Missouri, southern portions of Illinois. We do have some flash flood warnings. What concerns us on at this point really is what you see back here into southwest parts of Missouri and stretching back here into southeast Kansas. You got a band of showers and thunderstorms there, and that is pushing off to the east, and that's going to bring some more heavy rainfall to some of the areas here south of St. Louis. So just kind of looking at what we have right now, these are the showers and thunderstorms in the metro area. They're not severe. They're producing some downpours. We still have flash flood warnings here down to the south of St. Louis. And that includes southern St. Clair County, southern portions of Monroe County. Now, the rain is pretty much stopped there. Not that there won't be a little more. It's pretty much stopped there. Most of Randolph County is draining too. Now the heavy rainfall has shifted farther south down towards Perryville. So Perry County in Missouri has a flash flood warning. Randolph County still draining some of that heavier rain. And I'm sure there's some nuisance spots in and around St. Genevieve and Bloomsdale and going down towards Chester, well, even across on the Missouri side of the river here because of that. Now, let's look a little farther here to the south and west. Have some stronger storms coming across the Rolla area, south of Rolla, towards down Highway 63, and that's moving towards the east. See some more development there towards Potosi and then back into southern Crawford County. Plus, we have some thunderstorms that are developing south of Ironton, close to Annapolis. These are the areas we're most concerned about for the overnight hours because these are the areas out to our west that had, 6 to 12 inches of rainfall. And because of that extensive rainfall, overnight last night into early into Friday morning, well, that's resulted in that catastrophic flash flooding down there. And this rain that comes in from the west, and as we look back here to the west, back towards down 44 here, towards Springfield, these aren't particularly intense storms in terms of severe weather potential, but my goodness, they certainly have the potential to produce some more downpours and heavy rain. And there's still some cloud to ground lightning, so it's going to get noisy once again. This area is all pulling off to the east. And so as this whole area here slides to the east, that's going to pull it right over your areas that are still in the midst of recovery efforts, and trying to figure out what happened with, the early morning activity on Friday. And here we have more rain coming in. So that's not a good scenario. Looking back into the metro area right now, these are the storms coming through the metro St. Louis area. Coming into northern St. Louis County, you're going to get another downpour. They don't have especially a lot of wind with them. I just ended up here in St. Charles County with a pretty heavy shower that rolled on through and some rumbles of thunder. See that it's over towards Granite City too. So here for the next couple of hours, or the next hour or so, I think as we kind of look into North St. Louis County in particular, and along and north of 40, 64, this is where we're going to see some of the heavier rain kind of slide on in during the course of the next hour or so, through 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't think this is enough to cause us flash flooding concerns here. And again, our flash flood warning is farther down to the south here, far southern portions of St. Clair County, Monroe County, down into Randolph County, and now we're draining that water Okay, we're draining that water now as the heavier rain is shifted down into Perry County. So the flash flood warning's been issued for Perry County in Missouri. And then we go back down here. This is the area of concern, greatest concern, that area from Annapolis, south of Ironton, the Arcadia Valley School Complex there. That's kind of one of the shelter areas. There's another shelter area in Centerville where they have, made accommodations, Red Cross, Salvation Army. Now, we do have some of that heavier rain here stretching west along and north of Highway 8 here, going from Potosi through the Mark Twain Forest. And again, this area down to the southwest of St. Louis is going to be our greatest concern here going through the remainder of the night. So we have the flood watch that's in effect into Saturday. It's basically south of St. Louis, does not include the metro area. But listen, it's not going to take a whole lot of rain to have another flash flood warning issued for Iron, Reynolds, southern Crawford County, Washington County, into Phelps County because of the rainfall we saw last night. So the reality is that's what we're dealing with now. And when we look at the potential for additional rainfall between now and Sunday night, you see the focus is really, it has shifted off to the south and east of us to some degree. But unfortunately, you have that west to east band that some of the high resolution modeling continues to show setting up across parts of Reynolds and Iron County. So it's not the same northwest to southeast band that we had dropping, out of mid-Missouri through Crawford County into Iron and Reynolds County. But it is this area down across Reynolds and Iron County. There may be some of the same areas that had the heavy rain that get another inch or two of rain overnight tonight. And that's a problem. So here's what it looks like from a futurecast perspective. And this, keep in mind, this is just one high resolution model that we look at. And they all have varied solutions. But the trend here is for these showers and thunderstorms to continue to percolate for areas to the south and southwest of St. Louis in particular. And here you are at 3 o'clock in the morning and you're looking at more heavy rain across parts of Reynolds and parts of Iron and Madison counties, areas that were literally deluged with a foot or more of rain in some cases going into the early morning hours Friday. So that's not a particularly good scenario. Now that does ease towards daybreak somewhat. The upper level system is still hanging around. So we expect temperatures to be in the 70s for much of tomorrow. We'll probably top out in the lower 80s going into tomorrow afternoon. I would suspect at this point it's going to depend on whether we can get a little sunshine through the clouds at times. I don't know that we will get much. So we've kind of lowered the high to about 83 for tomorrow for your Saturday. And we'll still have those scattered showers and thunderstorms. But the whole system finally does start to move out as we head into Saturday night. While we can't rule out a couple of isolated showers and maybe a thunderstorm on Sunday, particularly east and southeast of St. Louis, it looks like the overall rain chances will diminish quite a bit there. One of the things we heard from some of the folks early on Friday morning was they didn't know there were warnings in place. And keep in mind, you're in very rural areas. So when you go camping, one of the things we need you to do is have more than one way to get warnings. If you don't have cell service, you can set the apps on the 5 on Your Side app. You can set the notifications to come on, notify you. It's not going to work if you don't have cell service. Same thing with the wireless emergency alerts. That works if the cell service is there. If it's not, it doesn't work. But the NOAA Weather Radio pretty much has coverage in all of those areas. And I've camped at Johnson's Shut-ins before with the Scouts and had the NOAA Weather Radio go off in the middle of the night a few times for flash flooding. By the way, Johnson's Shut-ins State Park is closed. Merrimack State Park is closed. Onondaga Cave State Park is closed. And San Francis State Park closed because of the ongoing flooding in those areas. So overnight, there's going to be some showers and thunderstorms. The severe weather threat's pretty much done. It's just all a matter of where the heavy rain goes and if it goes over the same areas. Obviously, the Perry County flash flood warning in Missouri, that's in effect until I believe 6:15. 3:30 is southern St. Clair, southern Monroe counties, as well as Randolph County in Illinois. And I think the rain's pretty much done there, but there could be some more. By Sunday, things do improve somewhat. So on Sunday, you're looking at a partly cloudy sky. There may be a couple of isolated showers and thunderstorms, but I think we'll have a chance to dry out. Now, I do know a lot of people try to get to the area lakes this weekend. Saturday, we still have that chance for showers and thunderstorms, mainly eastern Missouri into Illinois. So Carlisle Lake, Wren Lake, Mark Twain Lake. Not as much of a chance for Lake of the Ozarks and Table Rock Lake. And temperatures will warm up on Sunday. Should be the warmer day out of the weekend. Monday, it looks like it's pretty quiet area wide, and the water temperatures are back around 80. Now, I show you this, and these numbers are all off by a day because I shifted them on the computer at work before I took off tonight. So that 86 is really for Sunday, and we'll go 83 on Saturday. So it's a little cattywampus there. All of those days are just, it's one day, one day off. So instead of Saturday, it should be Sunday. Instead of Sunday, it should be Monday. The forecast, it's just the days are off there. But the bottom line is, after we get past Saturday, conditions will dramatically improve across the area. And that's the main point that we want to bring home to you tonight, is that, we're still dealing with this flooding scenario playing out across the region right now. And it's going to be, it's going to take a while. These roads that are washed out, you don't just up and fix that in a few hours. This is going to be a process. This is historic flooding that occurred. In fact, a new record here on the Black River at Annapolis. The old record was November 14th back in 1993. And that, at that point, the record was 20, I think it was 27.4. And when you look at it now, Annapolis, the Black River's gone back down to minor flooding. So the crest occurred around 1 o'clock Friday afternoon, and it was 28.7 feet. So that is a new all-time record for the river forecast, or for the river, the Black River at Annapolis. Now, also, a lot of this rain fell over the Merrimack Basin. So we're seeing substantial rises. Steelville's already into minor flood, and it's getting close to crest now in Steelville. Sullivan, it's going to be a moderate crest there at 24.2 feet. That's expected Saturday afternoon around 1 o'clock. Notice as we go into Monday and Tuesday, this upcoming week, Monday and Tuesday, the crest works its way down into Pacific, Eureka, and Valley Park with minor flooding. Minor flooding. Not major flooding there, but minor flooding. Here's a look at the rainfall, and this is for the last 24 hours. So this really is since 12:30 Friday morning through 12:30 here on Saturday morning. And you see where the areas of heavy rain happen to be, and you see why we have this flash flood warning here in Randolph County. That's showing 4.6 inches of rain. Now, all of that came this evening. Now, Randolph County is in general a little flatter than what we see here as you go back towards Lesterville and Iron County and that. So, there is a bit of a difference there. All right, looking at the radar here one more time before we get done with this update here for tonight. Looking down to the south of St. Louis, these showers and thunderstorms are tending to fill in. They will continue to produce heavy rainfall, and there's going to be some more localized flooding down here just because this rain is falling over areas where the ground is already saturated. So it will not take much for additional flash flooding down here in Crawford, Iron, Washington, Madison counties. So that's where we are with this at this point, with this system here tonight. We're going to watch this area down to the south for the potential of additional development and additional flash flood warnings. They scroll on the bottom of your screen. We send them out on social media for you. Metro area, we have some heavy rain moving through St. Louis right now. I think we will still see some scattered showers and thunderstorms here through the overnight hours. But again, we're not expecting severe thunderstorms out of this. This is all going to be, at this point, basically a flood threat situation that we're looking at through the overnight hours here into early on Saturday morning. So we'll keep an eye on everything and keep you updated as the night wears on. I'm going to go ahead and post this, and it'll be on our website. So just keep staying tuned, staying alert to what's going on if you're in the flood-prone area. Again, there's not much you can do, dealing with the rain. It's going to come down, and there's going to be some additional flooding down to the south of our area, again, as we go through the nighttime hours tonight. So that's the reality of it. Just don't drive through flooded roads. Hopefully everybody is in a place where it's higher elevation and you're safer, so that we don't have additional rescues that have to be conducted overnight. A heroic effort by all the first responders that came from literally all over the state, metro area, all of the swift water rescue people in the metro St. Louis area. They were out early this morning and down there doing the work, and all over the state. They had assets brought in to help out. So we'll continue to keep you updated here as we go through the night.